What is going on, family? We are back. Check out another song from TX2. And even though I don't get as many views on these ones, guys, I'm going to keep making them for you guys because you guys who do ask for them have been very loyal. And I appreciate you guys so much for putting me on a TX2 and keep pushing me in this direction. There's been a handful of you guys, especially any of you who have checked out some of my other content on my channel, have kind of heard me talk about some of these subjects. You guys have definitely pushed me in the direction of, like, you got to check out this Randy McNally, whatever the fuck his name is. No love like Christian hate. And already off the bat, I feel like this is going to be a very interesting conversation. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Put a bullet in a kid's head, think they got a sickness if they're not dressed up straight. But what happens in the closet doesn't matter if you profit from the flag of the USA. You're too fucking old, you do as you're told. You base your life off a nation scroll. Out there burning witches, filling up the ditches. Tell me, can I still be saved? There's no love like Christian hate. Let's all count down till judgment day. How tall is heaven's gate? If you stand outside and pass the plate. God is the rope you use to pull close. It's tie it up around my throat. So tell me, who do you pray to? When I'm on my knees I can play too.
Oh, baby. Oh, man. I take it all back in what I say about, like, not giving in to the haters, man. I love that he gave it to this one. He is I can't get over the fact. I just love it so much. Like, he pulled out, like, every little trick in the book to, like, just to get them angry. When he starts, like, flaunting out there, like, with the skirt on, I knew what time it was. Like, this riff is, like, fucking sick, man. It, like, comes in hard. It's got a great energy. Got the scream off the bat. And, like, he just comes in all, like, prancing, just like, hey, you know what time it is in this video. I fucking love it. Then he brings out the group of ladies. I'm not going to assume that everybody is trans because they might just be some individuals who just dress up in drag. Like, he made a reference in a song before about that he likes to dress up in drag, but he doesn't make him transsexual. That's the other thing that I think that is kind of like blurring lines with some people today, is just because you might be dressed up in drag doesn't mean that you're a trans person or identify as a trans person. I have friends who are trans, and I have plenty of friends who would just like to dress up in drag and go to drag shows, be a part of drag shows. Like, there's both worlds. It's not just one size fits all, which I feel is like a lot of the overall problem is, like, people, like, don't understand things, so they have to, like, put everything in one category. And unfortunately, just anything to do with the LGBTQIA plus community, it blows people's minds because they're like, oh, I've never seen anything like this before. So I have to hate it because it's got to be satanic or it's got to be bad for us. Yes, some of it can be distasteful, and some people take a little bit of too much advantage of just the fact that, like, you know, they might be able to have a little bit more freedom with their sexuality than people might have been like 20, 30 years ago. I can understand how some generations, like, look at the younger generations of, like, you know, just being a little too bold because there was no possible way that somebody could really act like this 30 years ago without basically getting beaten to death. And I feel like that's the overall progress that I think that we've made in a lot of the world. Like, don't get me wrong. There's tons of places in the world that still have a lot of problems, especially here in America, where we are not as progressive as we would like to think that we overall are as a nation. Like, this idea of being too woke, I definitely don't think that we are too woke altogether, because there's still way too many problems with people that just see people who are like, that might be a guy dressed up as a lady, and I don't know how to understand that, so it's bad. No love like Christian hate, man. There's a lot of truth to that, man. I still have a lot of gay friends today that still will not eat at Chick-fil-A because they feel so strongly about how they basically, you know, do not support gay people. I'm not here to defend them one way or the other. If you feel like Chick-fil-A hates the gays and that's what their company overall stands for, then you can avoid them too. And if you feel like, you know, they're just a Christian organization that obviously doesn't support anything to do with that, and they never really openly will, but they still hire a lot of gay people. And, like, just trust me, guys, I worked there when I was a teenager, and I worked with plenty of gay people at Chick-fil-A. you just they still hire you. It's not like they don't tell you that you can't work there. It's not one of those kinds of things. But if you want to die on that hill and you want to have those kinds of beliefs, I'm all for you believing in what you want to believe. One of my closest friends still thinks very strongly about this, and I'm not trying to change his opinion. That's the whole point. Is I think that both people can be right, and you can decide what you can and cannot be accepting with and what to support. But the overall idea of like there's no love like Christian hate, boy, when they get pissed off about something, they do not let it go. They do not let it go, and they blow it up. Like, I didn't even realize that the whole thing at the Olympics, like, I didn't even realize that had happened until, like, afterwards. Like, when I watched it, I was like, man, this was, like, such a cool event. I really liked this opening ceremony at the Olympics. I liked every single thing of it. I watched the entire thing. I didn't even realize that people were upset about it until I looked on the internet later. I was like, oh, my God, they're really upset about that? They were upset with about all the representation with the whole like picture-esque thing, whatever. And then they were upset about like the whole like band playing on the side of the building. And that shit was super hard, man. Like both of those things were part of my favorite parts of the entire thing. I told you we were going to have a lot to talk about in this video. So let's go ahead and keep going with the song.
Hey, Belly, it's nice to finally meet. Hey, I hope you find me pretty, wearing a dress in the street. Do you want to come and see what I hide underneath? It's a gun and it's free. You should point it at me. 'Cause you got secrets too. And you too, Gary. I know you do. So tell us all the truth. Do you think Jesus loves me? There's no love like Christian hate. Let's all count down till Judgment Day. How tall is heaven's gate? If you stand outside and pass the plate. God is a rope, you use to pull close. It's tie it up around my throat. So tell me, who do you pray to? When I'm on my knees, I can play too. Back to the governor, lieutenant. Yes, sir, yes, sir. It's how we burn all the books, censor their looks, and listen to the crooks. Yes, sir. Listen up, the church is giving head to state while putting countless lives at stake, digging thousands of new graves for children who can't be saved. Bang, bang, kill them all, watch the whole country fall, and it's all your fault, 'cause there's no love like Christian hate. Let's all count down till Judgment Day. How
Somebody
tall
tell
is
me that he
heaven's
does
gate?
this dance when he plays it at the shows. Please,
I know you want us back, still burning flames. Your God is a rope, you use to pull close. It's tie it up around my throat. So tell me, who do you pray to? When I'm on my knees, I can play
Oh boy, man. I I don't know why. I just love the fact that he did this. And honestly, I'm the guy who probably more or less doesn't really like it when people like attack religion that way. As much as I have a huge history with Christianity, I'm definitely more on the side of spreading love and peace and to not really like, attack people's beliefs just because they might be ridiculous or overbearing or pushy, if you will. I definitely understand where he's coming from because I would imagine the Christian community has made him feel probably pretty terrible about himself. They have a good way of doing that. But at the same time, I don't believe in fighting fire with fire. I don't like the idea of just kind of like making fun of somebody's God just because you don't believe in them. So like that's like really my only criticism there is like, I feel the same way about like Muslims. I feel the same way about Buddhists, but just really any religion in the world. Like if you believe it and that's what you believe, I respect it. And I would never say that you're crazy or call you stupid for believing so. At the end of the day, I just feel like they're all worshiping the same thing and they just go about it differently. So it's just stupid to fight each other and to say that your version is dumb and mine is right. I just don't understand why you would put down other people's stuff like that. But like I said, as more of the idea of like the practicing the principle of turning the other cheek and being the bigger person and to not thrash back at somebody, even though I know it was probably very difficult for TX2 because I would imagine there's a lot of young Christians out there that are just noisy as shit on his feed. And that's not good either. Like I said, that's absolutely terrible. Like I don't agree with any of those people. And I feel like they are some of the worst people on the planet because they are hiding behind a faith to do so. And I feel like that makes it even 10 times worse. But I also think that you shouldn't strike back and that you should just let them be terrible in as much as you can. So you wrote a song, you made a video, you got your get back, bro. You did. You got your get back. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Please be sure to let me know what the next song from TX2 is. I've been having fun checking out these songs from him. I really appreciate his music a lot. I really do. And I feel like I would definitely want to see him live one day and see how he translate live, because like some of the clips I've seen on like his Instagram and stuff like that, like his shows look like they would be a lot of fun to actually see. If you have not joined the Foxtrot family, there's always room for you. Till next time, I appreciate you for watching.